Hi, and welcome to Anne's Family Recipe. Today I'm grilling up some steaks and making not one, but two delicious grilled steak salads. This video is sponsored by the Pennsylvania Beef Council. I am so excited and honored to be working with them today. As a wife and mom of 4 kids, I serve beef to my family on a weekly basis. It's the perfect protein to prepare a nutritious and tasty meal for my family, and they love it. In fact, my 6-year-old daughter is a steak connoisseur. Her favorite cut, which she actually put on her star student report in kindergarten as her favorite food, is ribeye, which I'm sure everybody thought was hilarious, but Emma has good taste. Today I'm heading out to the grill with a marinated flank steak and a seasoned skirt steak, and I'm going to create 2 incredible grilled steak salads. The first salad is Thai inspired, and the second is a steakhouse style salad with beefsteak tomatoes and a creamy blue cheese dressing. So let's get started. Now more than ever is the time for you to get to know your local farmers. Processors here on the East Coast are fully operational at this point and are working extra hard to provide a safe environment for their employees and to get quality beef to your local grocery stores. You can also go to the farms directly for their products or seek out a local farmers market. There is plenty of beef to go around. The PA Beef Directory, which I will link in my description box below, is a helpful resource for finding farms in your area and how to order meat from them. You can also visit their individual websites to find out more selling information. Some farms have markets on property, and others sell at local farmers markets, which is where I went for my steaks today. My first step to prepare these delicious steak salads was to prep all the fruits and veggies. So I started with all the ingredients for my Thai-inspired salad. That included a mango, a couple of bell peppers, green onions, and some fresh herbs like cilantro, and I didn't show it, but I had some fresh basil too. Next, for my steakhouse style salad, I sliced up some beefsteak tomatoes, one of my favorite summertime foods. I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to arrange the tomatoes in my salad bowl, so I sliced some and then cut some into chunks. Lastly, I prepped my romaine lettuce. You can use whatever kinds of greens you would like for your salad. This is what was fresh and available at my store. So I chopped it up and then used my salad spinner to wash it and make sure it was nice and dry. Next, I'm working on 2 different salad dressings. Now, I'm making a ton of the first dressing because half of it is going to be the marinade for my flank steak, and then the other half will be the dressing for my Thai-inspired salad. So this is a combination of soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, brown sugar, fresh lime juice, lots of garlic, and if you'd like, a pinch of red pepper flakes too for a little bit of heat. I whisked all of these ingredients together, and then I placed my beautiful flank steak into a glass baking dish, and I poured a little bit over half of the marinade all over the top. Then I covered this with plastic wrap and refrigerated it just for about 30 minutes. You'll have to discard the marinade on the steak just because it touched the raw beef. However, I saved the rest of my dressing in my glass measuring cup off to the side so that I could dress my salad with it later. Next up, for my steakhouse style salad, that is such a tongue twister for me to say every time, I'm making a creamy blue cheese dressing from scratch. So I was kind of figuring out the measurements as I went. So I started with some mayonnaise, sour cream, milk, a little bit of white vinegar, and some Worcestershire sauce. And then I stirred that together to kind of see what consistency I had, and it was a little bit thin. Although I did want a thinner dressing. I didn't want like a thick dip, but I did add some more sour cream and mayonnaise, a splash more of Worcestershire, and and then a pinch of salt and freshly cracked black pepper. I also added about 3 ounces of blue cheese crumbles, stirred this all together, and then covered it and refrigerated it. Next, I'm seasoning my skirt steaks, and this is one really long, thin piece of beef. So I actually had to cut it down the middle so it would fit into my glass baking dish. I used some kosher salt, freshly cracked black pepper, lots of garlic powder, and onion powder. I didn't have a classic steakhouse seasoning in my pantry at the time, so I was making my own with some of the traditional flavors you'd find in like a Montreal seasoning. I was sure to season both sides of the beef, plus I drizzled both sides with a little bit of olive oil too. Be sure to wash your hands with soap and warm water before and after handling raw beef. For quick tips on grilling the perfect steak, check out the Summer Grilling Cheat Sheet, a free printable on the PA Beef Council website. Also, I highly recommend having a meat thermometer whenever you're grilling to check the internal temperature of your steaks for doneness. Grills can be finicky, I know this from firsthand experience with my own grill, so a meat thermometer helps ensure you're not overcooking your beef. I preheated my grill to about 450 degrees, and then I placed both my flank and skirt steaks on top. These are both fairly thin cuts of beef, especially the skirt steak, so you just want to keep an eye on them. It'll only take a few minutes on each side to grill. Again, I used my meat thermometer to check the internal temperature. My kids and I prefer our steak to be between medium and medium well. I know my husband loves medium rare, but I was taking it to a slightly higher temperature today. I was going for a temperature of about 145 degrees internally, so I removed the steaks a little bit before they reached that temperature and then allowed them to rest on a cutting board under some foil. Not only does allowing the beef to rest let the juices redistribute, but it also continues the cooking process a little bit. So after about 5 or 10 minutes, it'll be at our family's preferred doneness. When you're slicing your beef, you don't want to cut with the grain, you want to cut against the grain. So you're cutting in the opposite direction that the muscle tissues of the beef are going. I sliced some of the steak into strips and then cut the rest into little pieces for my kids. The final step is to assemble my salads. So I'm starting with the Thai-inspired steak salad. I have a bed of my romaine lettuce in a large salad bowl, and I'm topping it with some strips of the marinated flank steak. Then I'm adding my thinly sliced orange and red bell peppers along with the sliced mango. I love the fresh flavors and interesting textures of this salad. To top it off, I'm sprinkling on some cilantro and basil, and I forgot my green onions, but you can sprinkle those on too. That's what they're for. And then I drizzled some dressing over top, and it was ready to go. For the steakhouse style salad, I again started with a bed of romaine, topped it with tons of beefsteak tomatoes, and then lots of the dry rubbed skirt steak. And this I drizzled with the creamy blue cheese dressing. And it was so simple, but absolutely delicious. Thank you so much to the Pennsylvania Beef Council for sponsoring this video. Make sure you visit pabeef.org for your all things beef resource. I'll be sure to link their website down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at Ann's Family Recipe, and give this video a thumbs up if you like beef. Thank you so much for joining me here in my kitchen, and I'll see you again soon with more family recipes.